hello, everybody. Welcome to Tell It Like It Is radio podcast, and then welcome also to From Darkness to Light radio podcast. I'm your host. Y'all should know who I am by now. I appreciate y'all for joining me for this episode. If you guys like the commentary on YouTube, hit the like, subscribe, and notification button to receive notifications of my videos. If you guys like the commentary on Spreaker.com, just go to Spreaker.com/, From Darkness to Light Recovery Coaching, and you'll see the podcast from there. And also, you can see it on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google, Amazon, and multiple other streaming companies as well. A little about me: I'm a certified recovery life coach that's all about helping people on their paths and their journeys and their purpose to a new and better you. Now, there are different types of recovery, and there are some that a lot of people don't even know can be addictions or things that can actually cause damage in your life because of what you're willing to do to get these things. Now, this particular podcast is all about helping people to recover from getting out of darkness. And let's say, for example, I'm going to use the Alice in Wonderland, saying, let's say, for example, you followed the rabbit down the rabbit hole and you encountered this rabbit and you decided to follow it. And you got down to Wonderland, and at first everything seemed very peaceful. And then all of a sudden, here comes the chaos and destruction, and then the pain, the suffering, the anxiety, depression, the trauma, all these different things are now impacting your life. And even though you may have gotten out of Wonderland, and for some of y'all, you might still be in Wonderland, still following behind that rabbit. And then when you encounter the Mad Hatter and the Queen of Hearts, then that's a whole different situation on its own. Now, this particular podcast is all about going from being lost to being found, from darkness to light. Because there are a lot of people going through darkness right now. There's a lot of people suffering. It's a lot of people broke. It's a lot of people going through divorce, a lot of single mothers. It's just a lot going on. So I created this page from a spiritual perspective, as far as the times you got to move and the times you got to sit still. But before we get into the real nooks and crannies of recovery, this particular first one, this episode, is when you have to decide that particular thing of what I just said. In order for you to get to the light at the end of the tunnel, you got to let go of some things, and you got to let go of the past. You got to let go of what was. You got to focus on what is and what will be. You can't focus on what coulda, shoulda, wouldas, because if that was the case, you would have done that. You would have done the coulda, shoulda, wouldas. You didn't do it. So it doesn't matter about what you did 10, 15 years ago. What matters is what you did today. So before we get started, I'm going to pray, because just in case I have demonic spirits trying to attack me, let me pray. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this blog and this podcast I'm about to do. May this podcast and blog bless a lot of people. May it help a lot of people through their recovery and healing processes. May people, instead of focusing on God's standards, on society standards, focusing on your standards, because you are the standard of what we are supposed to be as godly people. There are a lot of false prophets. There's a lot of people that claim to be about you and about your glory, but in all actuality are false prophets. May you protect me from the negative spirits that are going to come while I'm doing this particular podcast. May I rebuke negativity and send it back from where it came, because it does not belong here. And for any sins that I've done throughout my life, may I repent and basically be forgiven for my sins, for everything I've done is trying to be the best version of myself as a godly person. And may you protect and cover every single person that's in this room. Everybody is my family, my friends, and other people that I love, and protect them from negative spirits that are going to attack their worlds as well. For I'm trying to bring as many people back to you and back to your glory and back to praising you as possible. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, I want to do that because I feel like that before I get into this, I'm learning to pray first, because if you don't pray first, you'll have things attacking you, which is something I've learned. Now, when it comes to going from society standards to God standards, I got to go back to you being a baby. When you're a baby, it's your parents' responsibility to guide you into the direction you're supposed to be based upon God's standards. The problem is you got some parents that are not godly at all. And so they're leading their kids to the slaughter. They're leading their kids to devastation and all of these different things that are just not good at all. So when you're younger and you're a kid, you know nothing about the world. You only know what your five senses presents to you, and basically on that, based upon how you feel about whatever is being presented to you, as well as what you choose to acknowledge and what you choose to consume, those things absolutely matter. So when you are consuming a lot of information and you have no one to tell you whether it's correct or not, here's the problem. So you grow up, and let's say, for example, you have a bad home. Daddy's not in the picture. Mommy's got an abusive boyfriend. The boyfriend of the husband is molesting you. So now you're growing up with a negative taste in your mouth, because when it comes out that this happened, now you're pregnant. Your mama kicks you out the house. Or someone ends up unaliving somebody because they don't want the truth to come out about a particular situation. Now somebody's life is taken, and now you're sitting in prison the rest of your life. At the end of the day, I understand that feeling good is important and emotions are absolutely important, but you can't let your emotions cloud your judgment. You just can't. That's stupid. You got to learn that, okay, love is a great thing when you find it, but you can't be willing to do anything for it that is negative. Because when you do stuff that's negative, you're going to get a negative result, and there are consequences and repercussions and karma to your actions. And for every action, there is a reaction. The problem is, y'all don't allow people to have a reaction. You just want to be able to say what you want to, and then if I turn around and put all your stuff on Broad Street, then all of a sudden it's, I can't believe you did that. You sat up here and you talked about me and you did this. That's why my first thing that come out my mouth is, before I say anything, if you put your hands on me or you do anything negative at all, I've already won. Because when I tell you I have no filter, I have absolutely no filter at all. And I'm one of the people that will hurt your feelings. But at this point in my life, it ain't worth that. So the one thing I've learned is that you have to love your enemies the way God loves you. And if God can forgive you, then you can forgive your enemies. That's just something that's important. But before we get started on this particular topic, I'm going to read something. And this is my prayer book. It's a powerful prayers for women. And this is what it says. Although our eyes should always be turned above towards God, sometimes we can do with a reminder of God's work just a little bit closer to home. The faith of others can serve as a reminder or an inspiration to strengths that strengthens our faith, just as we should provide encouragement to others. We can draw others to help steady ourselves. If you want your dreams to bear big fruit, you must be patient enough to let the buds grow into fullness, even if it feels like it's taking forever. Remember, God's timing is not your timing. Stick to it. Do not give up just because you get that bold breakthrough. Everything around me keeps changing, Lord. Nothing lasts. My relationships with others are different than they were before. I started to feel as if there was nothing sure and steady on which I can depend. When I remember your ever presence, unchanging love, even though these transitions, your love gives me courage and hope for the future. Amen. Now, why is that important? Because the one thing I've learned is that you're not going to keep friends. Friends are going to come and go, no differently than seasons change. The love that you have for people is always going to be there, but the like is what's going to change. So it's not the love that's going to change, it's the like that's going to change. Because even though somebody may do you wrong, you're still going to love that person. But you just ain't going to like them, and you just ain't going to have nothing to do with them, meaning that I'm not going to basically let you pull me down to chaos. I'm not doing that. I'm especially not going to let you pull me into a situation that's going to destroy my life. That's definitely not happening. So, like I said, you're going to have a lot of people that even though they love you, doesn't mean they like you. And then it says, a straightway to the father of the child cried out and said with tears, I believe, help thy mind belief. Mark 9:24. I need to believe beyond the present darkness, for it threatens to stop me in my tracks. Steady me, God, to infinity and infinite resources. As I collect my beliefs like candles to light and move through the darkness, the dark tunnels of doubt and uncertainty, inspire me to add new truths as they reveal themselves in my life. All along the way, help my belief. Now, the reason that's important is because everybody's on a journey. Everybody pretty much is on the same journey, just not at the same time. So let me break down how this works. When it comes to negativity, there are multiple different ways that rabbit's gonna get you to follow it down the rabbit hole. It's gonna be multiple different ways the harlot is gonna try to get you by lying to get you to go against God, along with the boy and girl that cried wolf. When it comes to the wolf in sheep's clothing, aka a manipulator, is no differently than a Jezebel and a harlot. And then you have the siren that can be male or female that can lure you to your demise, aka the rabbit, aka the snake that basically convinced Adam and Eve to basically go against God and eat the forbidden fruit. How Samson went against God by letting Delilah know his secrets. So at the end of the day, like I said, you're going to have different things that are going to basically test your faith. So sometimes you're going to have to sit still. Sometimes you're going to have to move. Sometimes you're just going to have to be patient and wait. And sometimes you're just going to have to, when God tell you to move, move. But the one thing I will say is you're going to move in silence at this point. What you should be teaching your kids is this here. There's nothing wrong with socialization, but I would say they shouldn't have their first friend, in all honesty, till they go to college. Because when you're younger, yeah, it's nice to have friends, it's nice to have people to hang out with, but you need to be real with your kids and let them know that as you get older, there will be people that's going to leave your life because you've outgrown them and you're on a different level than they are. And I'm not talking about positive people. I'm talking about negative people. So if you teach your children every year what they're going to have to look forward to or what they're going to deal with, then they're not going to deal with those things. Why? Because you're going to explain to them in every way that negativity is going to come into their lives. And you start at the age of 3. when they start talking fluently. Now, with a 3-year-old, you want to teach them the importance of consequences and repercussions and karma. Start at 3, because 1 and 2-year-olds are not going to understand. But by 4 years old, you need to start teaching them consequences. You need to start teaching them to have their own mind instead of following everybody else. But what y'all do is you tell your kids they need to make friends, and you don't even know what friends they're even making. And then when they turn against you for their friends, now all of a sudden it's a problem. All of a sudden you don't like their friends, but yet you weren't paying attention when they got friends in the first place. And then it says, I recently changed jobs. For many years, I worked in a doctor's office, and most of the time, the pros of the situation outweighed the cons. I enjoy flexible hours, and God sending when my elderly mother grew ill and I needed more help. But my boss was never supportive, and the pay was not ideal. When my mother passed away last year, I decided to look for a different position almost immediately found a new job. I'm excited about this next chapter, but change can be also hard. During these first weeks at work, I learned a new curve has been steep, and some nights I'm tired and stressed. God, please live in my heart and help me remain steadfast as I seek to learn, grow, and improve my situation and myself. Please remind me on the days when my spirit flags that you are always there. A lot of y'all expecting people to be there when you should be expecting God to be there. You got to know when God send you people and when the devil send you people, because what you don't understand is the devil hears your prayers too. It's not just God that hears your prayers. The devil also hears your prayers. And the devil will send you somebody who you think that God sent you, and come to find out the devil is the one that sent you that particular situation. So I was looking at something because I was trying to figure out what I was going to read today. And this is Romans. Let me see. Let me find which one it is. It is Romans 7 to make sure it's trying to make sure I'm reading it right. I know it's 7 to some. I don't know. I'm gonna read it in spurts, but I'm just trying to see what the ending verse of this is. And as always, this thing gets stuck. Okay, hold on. This is a brand spanking new Bible that I'm just now messing with. To 29. So this is what it says about. Am I on the right page? Okay, I'm on the right page. Just trying to make sure. Okay, let's do this. I'm trying to make sure it's not 2 pages. Okay, there was. Okay. So it's Romans 7 to 27 to 25. And this is what it says. It says the struggle against sin. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. Nay, I have not known sin, but the law, for I have not known lust, except the law has said, Thou shalt not covet. But sin, taking occasions by the commandment, wronged in me all manners of concupiscence. For without the law, sin was dead. For I was alive without the law once, but when the commandments came, sin revealed, and I died. When the commandments, which was obedient in life, I found to be unto death. For sin, taking occasion by the commandment, deceived me, and by it shrewd me. Now, what does that mean? It means you can sit here and make all the laws you want to. Y'all can sit here all day long and make excuses for y'all behavior as far as negativity. You can't I don't care what you do. Negative and negative will always equal negative. Negative and positive will always equal negative. Positive and positive will always equal positive. Do y'all not understand the geometry? Geometry pretty much told you this. Because even if you add two negatives, it's still going to be negative. Even if you have a negative and a positive, it's still going to be negative. If it's too positive, it's going to be positive. So I don't care how many times society makes excuses for infidelity, it's still morally wrong. If you steal, it's still morally wrong. When you sit here and you are negative to somebody, it is still negatively wrong. If somebody cuss you out and you turn around and do the same behavior, it's still negative wrong. So let me use negative and positive for example. I remember when I went after that sex cult and I tried my best not to respond. People would come to me with all kinds of stuff. I wouldn't respond. When my mother and them started getting phone calls, that's when I started responding. I didn't have a choice. But I had to be careful on how I responded. And even when I started exposing people, I still got the same nonsense. You lying. You lying. So even though these people got exposed, people still supported them anyway. Even though they were in the wrong, even though they had no evidence of nothing when it came to me, but yet and still people were stupid enough to believe. So even if there is laws, rules, and regulations, it don't mean people gonna follow it. And if they don't, they gonna make up excuses when they get caught why they did it. Because not once when you did whatever you did that was negative, did you think about the consequences, repercussions, and karma to your actions. You ain't think about it at all. All you cared about is James Scott Farron. I want my money and I want it now. I want what I want, and I don't care if I got to force somebody to give it to me, manipulate somebody to give it to me, or bamboozle or lead somebody astray to give it to you. One way or another, you gonna get it. But the problem is you ain't gonna be able to keep it. Because with negativity, you don't never keep anything at all. That's why I don't understand why people still knowing full well you can't keep it. I don't know why people don't understand that. Every time you do something negative, it's not going to end well. It never does. It never ever does. And then it says, for I was alive without the law once. Okay, where am I? Okay. Wherever the law is holy and the commandment holy and just and good, was then that which is good made death unto me. God forbid, but sin that it might appear sin, working death in me, by which is good, that sin by the commandments might become exceedingly sinful. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am a carnal, sold under sin, for which I allow not. For what I would that do, I am not, but I hate that I do. So let me explain that part. Even though you don't want to do nothing that is of sin, that don't mean you ain't gonna do it. Now, can people be manipulated to do things? Absolutely. Why? Because you want to be loved, liked, appreciated, valued, wanted, needed to be a part of something. For somebody to know your worth, for somebody to know your value, to be validated, appreciated, and approved of, and to be accepted and proven something to people, as well as being Captain Save-A-Ho, Build-A-Bears, and Build-A-Dolls, which is the reason that you're going through the issues you're going through now, because of what you're willing to do for it. It's not that all of those things are bad, because there is not. But hold on, there's a negative side to those things as well. Because what you're willing to do for love and to be liked in a negative manner is what makes them negative. It's not that, I'm saying, these things are bad, but it's what you're willing to do for them that is the problem. It's the fact that you go against your morals, your values, your principles, and your ethics for these things. So it's basically like this. So even though you can be a godly person, you can try your best not to get involved in sin. But guess what? One way or another, you're going to get into it because you're going to meet a rabbit, you're going to meet a snake, you're going to meet somebody that is going to make you feel something you ain't never felt before. And you're going to want to hold on to that feeling by any means necessary and hold on to it no matter how negative it's going to be. So now, no matter how negative this person is, you're still going to let them stay in your house, even though they ain't got no money. You're still going to let them put their hands on you, even though you shouldn't. You giving up your career and everything you worked hard for somebody that's not even worth you. If you got to give up so much for love, just don't even do it. Don't even do it. It ain't worth it. Now, love is something that we all do anyway. It's natural. But with relationships, it's not about love because love is not even the question here. The question is, do I like you? Do I like you? Do I even want to even waste my time on you? What is it about you that makes me want to bring you into my life? What is it that makes you special? What is it about you that makes me say, this person should be my friend. This person should be my man. I like being around this person as far as a family member. Ask yourself that question. Because at the end of the day, like I said, I don't know what y'all be thinking. But hey, I'm just a different individual. And then it says, I'm going to 16 to 25. It says, if then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that it is good. Now then it is no more that I do it, but sin that dwells within me. For I know that is in me, that it is in my flesh, dwelleth no good things, for to will is present with me. But how to perform that which is good, I find not. Ooh, let me stop there. Oh, I'm going to go deep with this. I said I was going deep with this video. All right. Boredom. When y'all think about godly people, you think about good people, you think about boredom. You think that a person that is a good person, they're boring. Why? Because they choose to do it straight and narrow. No, you want to go and do everything that's demonic under the sun. You want to feed into the 7 deadly sins is what you want to do. You want to run around and fornicate and have sex with everybody and their mama. You want to sit up here and manipulate and bamboozle and lead somebody astray and unalive somebody and molest and pretty much embezzlement and God knows what else. You want everybody to go down because you choose to do something stupid. So I'm not going to go down by myself, but I'm going to take everybody else and their mama with me. So I'm going to have everybody else and their mama do the crime, and I'm just going to sit back and not get caught and let them go down like a godforsaken sinking ship. No, doesn't work like that. But that's what y'all do. Not understanding that when the consequences, repercussions, and karma to your actions, behavior, choice, and decisions based upon the negative decision, choices, and action behavior that you did, when them consequences hit, all of a sudden it's every man for himself. But when y'all did these things that go against God and every single godforsaken, unmorally and unholy thing, you want to sit up here and say, well, this person told me to do it. Oh, so somebody tell you to jump off a bridge, you're going to jump. Because if that's what you're going to do, then if it's that easy for me to manipulate you to do something that go against God, I must be somebody. I must be that good if I can get you to do drugs and alcohol and get you to have sex with me. I must be that good if I can get you to basically scam you out a bunch of money. I must be that good. I must be. But let's continue. Let's see, where am I at? I find then a law that when I would do good, evil is present with me. For I delight in the laws of God after the inward man. But I see another law in my members, warning against the law of my mind, bringing me unto the captivity to the law of sin, which is my members. O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? Oh, thank God through Jesus Christ our Lord. So then, with the mind, I myself serves the laws of God, but with the flesh of the laws of sin. There's two different laws. There's the laws of God and there's a lot of laws of sin. And majority of y'all are feeding into the laws of sin, not the laws of God, the laws of sin. Y'all always talking about, well, God doesn't exist. Y'all need to go watch the History Channel. Y'all need to watch the Bible channel because all of that's been proven. So at the end of the day, like I said, you got to choose whether you going to have man or God standards. Which one are you going to choose? Because you can't do both. You can't do God standards and then still turn around and do the devil standards. It just ain't going to work. Because eventually, all these people that led you down that rabbit hole that you kept going down is going to abandon you. Because as soon as you can't do nothing else for them, they're going to leave and you're going to be alone. And you're going to have to sit here and figure out, why did these people walk out on your life? And I'm not talking about the people that leave you in death. No, I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the people that's alive and well, that sit up here and suck the life out of you, use you, take advantage of you, treat you any kind of way, and you allow it. Why? Because you want to be loved so bad, you'll do anything for it. So I'm going to use somebody as an example. I'm not going to say by name who this individual is. But I really do feel sorry for them because the way they use money to get people to like them is absolutely ridiculous. It's a shame how people think because you have money, you can get people to do whatever it is that you want them to do. I'm sorry. That's not always the case. So at the end of the day, like I said, when it comes down to doing the right thing, it ain't never going to be easy. Why? Because negativity, like it said, even though the laws of God is a part of me, so is sin. The laws of sin also a part of me. And then it says, this is chapter 4, one step. You do not need to run a marathon. Just take one step at a time. Go out in faith and let God guide you. There's a season for everything, and God has perfect timing. Just listen, and when he tells you to move, move. Yep, a lot of y'all don't even pay attention to that. Now, for those of y'all who wonder why you don't have friends and why nobody likes you, because God is not bringing those people in your life. So parents, let me break something down to y'all. When you have that one child that don't want friends, please stop making them have friends. Leave them alone. They will have friends in their own time. Because the one you need to be worrying about is the ones that actually got friends. The ones that when they get 16 years old, gonna make their child turn against you. Do you not remember that rebellion stage that all of us go through when we rebel against our parents because our parents are not being honest? They're not telling us the truth. We're finding out from everybody else what they should have told us in the beginning. So, for example, as you get older, you're going to start seeing your mother do things and you're going to be like, this ain't the mother I knew. So a lot of people are looking for love in all the wrong places. The problem is, these ain't people you supposed to be loving in the first place. You're supposed to love yourself, and everybody's supposed to be addition to you. Anybody that basically lowers your confidence, you shouldn't be dealing with anybody. Anyway, anytime somebody put their hands on you, you shouldn't be dealing with them in the first place. You should not let nobody make you go against your morals, your values, your principles, and your ethics that your parents taught you. If you have good parents, if your parents tell you don't have sex before marriage, please believe them. Please believe them. They're not telling you anything for no reason. They've been down the road and yeah. My mom was 19 when she had me. Is she 19? I'm 50. She's 70. No, yeah, 20 years. Yeah, 20 years. I am 20 years younger than my mama. Let's tell you something. So what I want people to understand is I get it. I completely understand it. But at the same time, like I said, if your mama tell you that you shouldn't be having sex, please listen to her. Because she ain't telling you nothing wrong. She really ain't. Close your legs. Because sex ain't everything it's cracked up to be. Because it really ain't. Because what I'm learning now about sex, a lot of y'all don't know nothing about it. So, no. So I'm going to read this chapter here. It says, the wrath of God against ungodliness. It says, and this is 18 to 32. And I'm going to read this in spurts. It says, for the wrath of God is revealed from the heavens. And this is Romans, by the way. I don't know. You know what I did? I sat here and was trying to figure out what I was going to read today. And as always, I just opened the book and Romans just came out. So I'm reading Romans today. And this is 18 to 32. It says, for the wrath of God is revealed from the heavens against the ungodliness and the unrighteousness of man, who hold the truth in unrighteousness. Now, the funny thing about this is, when it says, who holds the truth in unrighteousness, that means they lying. A lie is a truth, and the truth is a lie. And I don't know why people don't understand that, but a lot of y'all will believe a lie before you believe the truth, because the truth hurts. I don't care what nobody's saying. The truth hurts. Y'all keep thinking that the truth is pretty. No, it ain't. The truth is ugly. The truth is going to hurt your feelings. The truth is going to have you out here probably wanting to commit suicide. That's how bad it hurts. Now, the problem is your truth, is my truth, and then there's the truth, and whoever else involves truth. But the truth never comes out in the beginning unless that person is flat out telling you the honest to God truth in the beginning. That's how you know a godly person, because they ain't going to tell you what you want to hear. They going to tell you the God honest truth. If they think you a jerk, they going to tell you, I think you're a jerk. A godly person does not go off what somebody look like. They certainly don't go off how much money you got. They go off your character and who you are as a person. They want to get to know you thoroughly. They ain't just trying to sit up here and just go after the money. Because godly people don't even want your money. They care nothing about it. They want to get to know you as a person. And that's what's scary to a lot of people. And then it says, because that which may be known of God is manifest in them, for God hath shewed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, which is true, being understood by the things that are made, even his internal power and God's head, so that there are without excuses. Yeah, y'all kill me with the excuses. Y'all kill me. Oh, I left my child for 10 days with nothing to eat because I just wanted to go out and have a good time and have big fun. Okay, Vanessa from the Cosby Show and the Wretched. Okay, gotcha. So you left your kid for 10 days to starve and unalive and be unalive because you want to go have big fun. Well, you shouldn't have kids in the first place, and you should have closed your legs. At the end of the day, God can forgive you. Because one thing, the big thing that God protects is children and fools. But some of y'all ain't dumb. Some of y'all ain't stupid. You did it because it felt good. You did it because you wanted to be loved, liked, appreciated, valued, wanted, needed to be a part of something. That's why you did it. You did it because you wanted to prove something. You did it because you wanted to be Captain Saberho, build a bear, build a doll, seat fillers, and people pleaser is why you did it. And that's where the majority of your addictions come from. That's where the majority of your damage is coming from, because you don't know what you did to get there. No, what you did was you looked at this person, they got a banging body and they got money, or there's somebody that basically you want to upgrade. So you want to be Captain Save a Hoe and try to save a hoe. You can't make a hoe into a housewife or a house husband. So what makes you think you can save the hoe? You can sit there all day long and try to save the hoe and try to get them out of prostitution. That don't mean they're going. They're going to be stuck right now because they ain't going. They ain't going nowhere because they like right where they at. So when it says, so they are without excuses, that means that if you know right from wrong, there is absolutely no reason why you should be doing something wrong and you know better. To know better is to do better. That's the reason that negativity exists, so we won't just be blinded and think that nothing's wrong. And then it says, professing themselves to be wise, they become fools. Oh, that's a good one. What does it mean when it says professing themselves to be wise, they become fools? Because you can't back up what you said. A lot of y'all are too young to be trying to give people advice because you ain't even lived your life yet. I'm 50 years old. I can sit here and give advice because I've already been there, done that. Only elders can really give advice because we've been there, done that. Now, if it's something that we don't know nothing about, we'll get somebody that can help figure it out. So that's saying that young people can't go through nothing. Not saying that at all. But what I'm saying, when it comes to having the tools to learn from your mistakes and grow and evolve and elevate, then you're not going to have them tools because most of the adults want to be young. And the problem is the older generation don't want to be old. And God talks about being old and the benefits of being older. I'm okay with being old. I'm not even worried about being old. It don't even bother me to be old. I'm cool at the end of the day. And then it says, and changed the glory of the uncorrupt God into the image made like to corruptible man, and to birds and 4-foot beasts and creepy things. Wherefore God has given them up to uncleanness through the lust of their hearts, dishonor their bodies between themselves. Who can change the truth of God into a lie, and the worship and serve the creature more than the creature who is blessed forever? Amen. For this cause God gave them unto the vile affections, and even their women did change the nature used into which is against nature. I'm gonna talk about that. Mother Nature. Mother Nature. Y'all need to leave Mother Nature alone. Mother Nature ain't playing with y'all. And the one thing that the operative word, mother. Mother. Y'all need to read it, ladies. Y'all need to read up on Mother Nature. Because Mother Nature is exactly what a woman is. If you think about Mother Nature, you think about women. If you think about all the natural disasters, you think about women. Because that's how our emotions are. Our emotions are no different than any godforsaken natural disaster that there is. Cyclones, earthquakes, volcanoes, all of those are women's emotions. So when you first mess with a woman's emotion, is no different than the forming of a hurricane, a typhoon, same thing with a tsunami. How you see a hurricane or a tornado or a cyclone, how it forms, that's a woman. Now, in order to form a cyclop or whatever, you got to be able to move very quickly because this person ain't playing with you. So the whole point of it is to see how they react to certain things. So again, when you have somebody that's giving you falsified information and you don't verify it, then that is a problem. So when it says that, where am I at? I'm trying to make sure I'm reading this right. I'm trying to make, okay, where it says that a creature is blessed forever. Oh yeah, even their women. Okay, I ain't read that part yet. Okay, I'm trying to make sure I know where I'm at. So when it comes to this part, because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imagination, and their foolish hearts was darkened. So when you think about it from that aspect, that's the same thing. And what I'm saying, y'all are sitting here allowing people to influence you. Y'all worshiping false prophets, and you're not supposed to. Y'all do stuff and then make excuses for it, and that's the problem. Y'all make excuses for stuff that you shouldn't even be making excuses for in the first place. You really shouldn't. And then it says, professing themselves to be wise, they become foolish. And that's what I mean. You can be a wise person and still be a fool. You can be a smart person and still be dumb. So that's the point of the conversation. And then it says, and change the glory of the. Okay, I read that part. Did I read that part? Yeah, I did. It says, wherefore God gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, and dishonor their blood between themselves, who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the creator. So how are y'all gonna worship man over God? That's my question. How are you gonna worship a man that is not led by God? Y'all up here messing with people that's not even people of God. These are harlots. These are just people that are going to lead you astray and lead you away from God. And then it says, who bless forever, amen. For this cause God gave them up unto by afflictions even their women did change the natural use into which is against nature. Yeah, ladies, y'all going against Mother Nature. Y'all ain't supposed to be having sex or anything. You supposed to be clean. Every time you have sex, you are not doing nothing but destroying your body. Do you not understand the importance of purity? Y'all don't even understand that. What the meaning behind that means. Ladies, you're not supposed to be letting these men lead you to prostitution, lead you to negativity, lead you to being a single mother, lead you to sitting up here blind and being a fool. And being a fool. And then it says, and likewise also the men leaving the natural use of the women. Hold on. Let me read that again. Likewise also the men leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust towards another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompensing of their errors, which was met. And even if they do not retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to the reprobate mind to do those things which are not conventional. Conventional. I'm tired. Okay, let me break down what that means. There's so many words, peoples. What that means basically, essentially, is yes, you do have a mind of your own, and yes, you do have freedom of choice and free will, and yes, you can research all kinds of things. It does not mean that you're going to do it. So just because somebody says jump off a bridge, that means you're going to jump. And then it also says being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, convertedness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, decent, malignant, whispering, backbiters, haters of God, despite proud, boasting, interventions of evil things, being dishonest to the parents, without understanding, breakers without natural affection, implacable and unmercy. Who knows the judgment of gods that they can commit such things that are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasant in them that do them. So what I'm saying in so many words in this situation is that y'all need to stop following negative people. Because negative people ain't gonna do nothing but lead you astray and lead you to craziness that you do not want to deal with. So there's a lot of different scriptures, but I just wanted to read those two because that has something to do with what I'm saying when it comes to getting your life together. So I need people to understand they even got led by the Spirit. So there's a lot of things in here in this Bible that really are going to help me in my journey. So tomorrow, I think that's what I'm going to be doing is reading the Bible and writing a book. That's what I'm going to be doing. So there's a lot of different things in here. It says subject to the higher power, perfect will of God. So I have songs or whatever you want to call these. So at the end of the day, like I said, I'm glad I found Romans and I was able to use it. And you have Corinthians, but I like this Bible because it literally shows the different scriptures and the titles. Like it says grace and peace, and this is 1 through 3. Paul called to be an apostle of Jesus Christ through the will of God, and Sojourn our brother unto the church of God which is at the Corinthians, to them that are sacrificial in Jesus Christ, called to be saints, with all that in every place upon the name of Jesus the Christ our Lord, both theirs and ours. Grace be unto you and peace from God our Father and from the Lord Jesus Christ. So there's a lot of different scriptures in here that will help you through your journey. You just gotta make up your mind which one that's gonna be. So, like I said, when it comes down to this, it also says, teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Psalm 90:12. I watch the day of myself fly by, always thinking about what I need to do tomorrow, next week, or next month. God help me to slow down and take all the steps at the time. Drink in every present moment, for these moments will never change, will never come again. God, give me the patience to take this thing called life one step at a time. Stop me from rushing things and demanding things to happen in my time. Give me the wisdom to allow them to happen on your clock. So again, like I said, y'all worry about the wrong things because I don't care what nobody say. Negative and negative will always equal negative. The first thing that should come in your mind is the consequence, the repercussions, and karma. And then the morals, the values, the principles, and ethics. Because that way, at least it makes more sense. So, like I said, I understand the fact that for a lot of y'all, consequences and repercussions, you think you got away from things. If you don't change your life and you don't grow and you don't elevate, you're going to be right back staying stagnant. So while you sitting here wasting your life away, somebody else is upgrading off of you. While you sitting up here trying to take care of everybody else, they not taking care of you when you get sick. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that because then when you make it, you now know what you're supposed to do. When it comes to your situation, keep it quiet. At the end of the day, you deserve to be happy. You deserve to have love. You deserve to have all of these things that you want. But at the same time, the question is, did God give it to you or did the devil give it to you? Is this person that you're bringing into your world of peace and quiet and tranquility and yes, boredom to bring chaos and destruction and a bunch of excitement that you really don't need? No, you don't need excitement that bad. If you really want excitement that bad, then you are feeding into the seven deadly sins, and it's either going to be greed, lust, or vanity, or either sloth. I'm gonna add sloth to that, and vanity is the devil's favorite sin. So a lot of y'all just be feeding all the way up in that. I'm sorry, but I can't. I just can't. And then it says the faith in God, which is 2-5. I breathed when I came to you, came not with accelerance of speech or wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of God. I have determined not to know anything among you, save Jesus Christ and his in him crucified. I was with you in the weakness and the fear and in much trembling. And my speech and my preachings was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but the demonstration of the Spirit over power. And a power. That your faith should not be standing in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. Let me read that one more time. That your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but the power of God. Y'all need to stop. I'm telling you, man, these people, as far as God's standards, gonna have y'all leading astray, being led amok. That's what's gonna happen. Because none of the stuff that we're doing right now, we are supposed to be doing. None of it. Because you ain't doing nothing but losing your life every single day. Every time you work for 8 hours, you are losing time. Every time you not doing things that you want to do, you are losing time. Every time you on social media for all these hours upon hours upon hours upon hours, you're losing time. Every time you bring people into your world trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho, Build-A-Bears, and Build-A-Dolls, and number one, you're not getting paid for your services. And number two, even if you are giving back to the community, you're allowing other people to tell you that you can't give back to the community. You got other people telling you that you can't be a billionaire because you're black. Okay. Just want some clarification on that. So again, I don't be understanding how y'all be thinking. And then it also says the foolishness of the world's wisdom. Oh, I definitely need to read this one. This is gonna be interesting. For the preachings, and this one's 18-25. For the preachings of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us which are saved it is the power of God. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and bring to nothing the understanding of the prudence. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disruptor of this world? Hath not God made foolish the wisdom of the world of this world? Now let me talk about that for a minute. Why is that important? Because everything that y'all doing goes against everything that is of God, for the most part, except maybe a few things. Y'all want to keep things from your kids, knowing they're gonna find out anyway. You're getting married for the wrong reasons, and it's still fornication. Like I said, I don't get it, but let's continue. Because like he said, like it says in the Bible, where on 20, where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disruptor of this world? Have not God made foolish of the wisdom of this world? So you gonna keep believing nonsense that's not real? Okay. And it says, for after that in the wisdom of God, and the world by wisdom knew not God, it pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. So, in other words, you got people out here preaching the Bible, but they're not chosen by God to do so. And they're doing it for the money. So it says, after that in the wisdom of God, and the world by wisdom knew not God, it pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. So in other words, what basically is saying is here is you got God who is saying that the wisdom of man does not know God. How many people have said that God didn't exist? That God wasn't real? So in other words, the wisdom of man is nowhere near the wisdom of God. But let's continue. It says, for the Jews require a sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom. But we preach Christ's crucifixion unto the Jews, stumbling block, unto the Greeks foolishness. Now he said, we preach Christ's crucifixion unto the Jews, a stumbling block, and unto the Greeks foolishness, but unto them which is called both Jews and Greeks, Christ, the power of God, the wisdom of God, because of the foolishness of God is wiser than man, and the weakness of God is stronger than man. Well, I don't know what's wrong with a lot of y'all, because that right there tells you that a lot of things that we do in today's society goes against everything that is of God. It does. Because this world could be a better place if they would just do what's right. But instead, no. It's just like Joe Biden is trying to get rid of student loans. And what's going on? The Senate said, I think the Supreme Court said no. So why are you trying to keep people in debt? See, that's what I'm saying. I don't have time for none of these people. Because they don't care nothing about us at all. They don't care. They don't care nothing about our health. They don't care about nothing. All they care about is they can pretty much do what they want to do to us. And that's the sad part about it. So me personally, I'll take God's wisdom over man's wisdom. And speaking of that, they have the wisdom of God. And it says, howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not wisdom of this world, nor the prince of this world that comes to naught. But we speak the wisdom of God in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which God ordains before the world unto our glory, which none of these princes of this world knew. For had they known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of the glory. And that's other words, Jesus. So if people of man really knew better, Jesus would have never got crucified, which is true. And Adam and Eve would have never ate the fruit. And we wouldn't have the world we have today. Which none of these princes of this world, no, come, where am I at? I'm sorry. It says, but as it's written, Eve had not seen nor heard, neither had entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them, like that love him. But God hath revealed to them until us by the Spirit. For the Spirit searched all the the deep things of God. For the man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of the man which is in him. Even so, the things of God knoweth no man but the Spirit of God. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit which is of God, that we might know things that are freely given to us of God, which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but the Holy Ghost teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. But the natural man receives not things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolish unto him, neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. But he that spiritual judgment all things, ye himself is judged of no man, which for thou have no, for who have not the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him, but we have mind of Christ. So I'm a little confused here, a little lost. This whole entire time, y'all been listening to people tell y'all gotta work, you gotta make money, gotta do this, gotta do that. No, you don't. You don't. How this was originally supposed to work, everybody was supposed to be on even footing. That was the whole point of Cain and Abel, and when they banished Cain and Cain went and found his own community. Same thing with Moses. It wasn't about money. It was more so about finding land and taking your people there. And you build and you have land. I've been telling black people this for the longest, and y'all don't listen. You can't make a nation within a nation. Why do you think that when it came to Lot, when the angel said that they were getting ready, that God was getting ready to destroy Lot, destroy Sodom and Gomorrah? Why do you think that Lot had to take his people and go? Why do you think when it came to Moses, Moses said, take the Israelites and go? You can't make a nation within a nation, especially a nation that is doing the same thing as the story of Moses. See, y'all don't pay attention to this thing when it comes to Donald Trump. Okay, I'm going to use Donald Trump, for example. Okay, I think I'm done with the Bible for the day. So I'm in Corinthians right now. So I made sure I leave my little thing right there. Make sure I remember this where I'm at. But anyway, I'm gonna use Mr. Donald Trump, for example. If Donald Trump gets in office, he ain't never gonna get out. And all the things, some of the things in the Bible, some of the things that Nostradamus predicted is gonna happen. And when it does, I ain't gonna do nothing but sit back and start prepping. Matter of fact, I'm prepping now. If Donald Trump get in office, I'm leaving the United States of America. I promise you I'm leaving. I'm packing my stuff, and me and my baby and my mama and my family, we are going out of the country because food is getting worse. And that's in the Bible. Because we in Revelations. I'm telling y'all gonna, I ain't even gonna get into it too deep. But just know I know where hell is. And we living in it.
right here where we at. In the country we're in right now is hell. Because God said that when he come and get his people, them people is going to be sitting in hell. So God is not going to get rid of negative people and take them out of this world. No, he going to come get his people and leave y'all sitting right here. So for all the people that's still going to be sitting here, it's because you didn't believe in God. You basically worshiped something that was not of God. You have the audacity to say that you are God, knowing that that's blasphemy, and you know it's wrong. But you're going to say it anyway. And do you not understand that there are consequences for everything you do that is wrong? So everything society is telling you, and again, we're right back in the story of Moses, but y'all don't even realize that. There are people that go through the story of David, the story of Lot, the story of Noah, the story of Job. Everybody going through it. When are y'all gonna understand that? There's not one story in the Bible that one person is not going through. But instead of looking at the Bible and figuring out how to go about figuring out what you're supposed to do, you want to sit up here and listen to a bunch of people who are not even godly people telling you how to live your life. You got a whole bunch of people telling you different ways to lose weight. You get all these people who are so worried about being rich and being wealthy and keeping the lower class where they at. But let me tell you what's getting ready to happen. Especially the black people in particular. You want to know why stuff keep happening? Because people don't want to let go of the past. They want history to continue to repeat itself. Why you think the Sanchez and all them talking about some woke culture and, we don't want our kids to know the truth about slavery. So in other words, you still want to lie, knowing there are still people in this world that know what slavery was. You got to keep reminding your kids of what slavery is. You got to keep reminding your kids of what your ancestors went through. Y'all, and I would say all the time, y'all the main ones that shouldn't be doing negativity in the first place, especially black people. Y'all should not be out here doing what y'all doing. It don't make no sense what you're doing. It don't make sense at all. It took me 50 years to figure out what my calling is. I always knew what it was, but I was scared of it. I ain't scared of it now. Because God always said I was meant to preach. I was meant to get up here and help people. So instead of people hurting me, God said, no, I want you to get up and I want you to speak. I'm going to need you to do the right thing here. And my feet are absolutely swollen. So at the end of the day now, so I'll give you a good example. Instead of me sitting here, I should have been exercising, but I couldn't because they didn't know if I was ever going to be able to walk again or not. But I'm just saying, now I'm exercising. For the past 3 days, I've been exercising back to back to back. 1 15-minute and 2 30-minute exercise. Why? Because I'm starting off slow. Now, it may not look like I'm doing exercise, but I am. Because I'm not as fast as everybody else, but I'm going to get the hang of it. I did a really intense 30-minute workout, and I had to stop once. Because I was just in that much pain. But I stopped it and then went right back to it and finished it. It was not easy, but I said I was going to finish it. And I finished it. Why? Because I was determined to finish it. So again, I am well aware I can't make nothing. So like I said, I'm over at this point. So all I will say is this here to conclude this, because I'm going to go to bed. But y'all better stop listening to and stop trying to be a part of God's sorry, it's the wrong thing. Trying to be a part of society standards, because society standards is what's going to end up having y'all in the hospital. If you look right now with everything that's going on in the United States when it comes to food, do you notice that in the Maldives and all these other countries, they don't have these issues? You want to know why we're having these issues? Because they contaminated our water. That's what they did. They contaminated our water. So anything that when it comes to our water is bad, and it's unaliving people. So at the end of the day, it's just like somebody going and getting something else. So all I will say before I go to bed is this here. You either gonna be God standards or you gonna do man standards. But either way it go, you can't do both. Now when you were younger, it was one thing because you didn't know no better. When you start getting older and you start getting in your 30s and you get about 25, there's no excuse. There's none. Because when you're 12 years old, your sins are now your own. And I always had that mentality. I've always had the mentality of, you know what I'm saying, trying to do what's right. Told mom I didn't want friends because I said to myself that they probably ain't gonna stick around, and sure enough, I was right. I said I wasn't ready to date, and I should have stuck with that. So again, you don't know what's going on in people's lives. So what I will say is this here. God is who, no matter what, God will tell you. And matter of fact, God will show you. If you say, Lord, please show me the truth about the situation, trust me, you're gonna see it, you just ain't gonna like it. Cause you're gonna be like, why is it that he's cheating? Because he is. Some of y'all ain't ready for these harsh truths that God is going to present to you. Because the devil's going to present you a lie, which is why the majority of y'all going through what you're going through right now. Because the people you're dealing with are not godly people at all. They're just not. That's the reality of it. I do understand and I get it, but the answer is no. Absolutely not. So like I said, it's not going to be easy. My throat hurts. Ow. I hate when I cough and then I get a cramp. Oh my God, it hurt. I hate having Charlie horses. Y'all just don't be understanding. I have them in my feet. Right now, my feet are like numb because I did some exercises. And so now they're like numb. So I'm like moving them around and stuff. So because of I have edema. I think I have edema really bad. So even though, yeah, I'm moving around a lot, does not mean that numbness don't come back, because it does. So all I'm saying to y'all is it come a time you got to decide whether you're going to be a person of God or whether you're going to be demonic. But either way, you got to make that decision. And I can't make that decision for nobody. I can't tell nobody what to do or how to live your life. All I can do is tell you, I don't care what negative things you do, there are consequences. The only reason you're working is to make everybody else rich. The only reason they're telling you you need friends, the only reason they're telling you they need you to be married, because all of this centers around making money. I mean, y'all better go read Moses, because if you read Moses and go into the reason why the Israelites were out there in the first place, was the same reason why black people ended up in slavery. Y'all do not understand the point to all of this. People are going to continue doing negative things until they get what they want, which is Donald Trump in office. That's it. They want him in office because they want to bring racism back. But a lot of y'all don't think in that perception. They think when they say make America great again, that means all of us as minorities are in trouble. We are all in trouble if Trump get in office. We are all in pretty screwed. So what I will say, sorry, y'all, my throat hurts, is this here: you can't do both. Not at a certain age. You either gonna do the godly thing, or you gonna keep doing all these demonic things and keep being lied to and manipulated and bamboozled and led astray. Because we're not supposed to be under these screens for 8 hours. We're not supposed to be out here because the love of money is the root of all evil. And that's the part, is everything right there in front of your face. I don't have money because I want a brand $8.5 million house. I don't have money because I want to buy some expensive clothes. I have money for my health and wellness. That is why. I have money because that way I can survive in this world is why I got money. So if I made $1 billion, do you know that half of that will be in a trust for my son? And I would never touch it. So all I'm saying is this. I'm just being real. I learned now, no, when you say you a person of God and you're somebody that giving your whole self to God, because I am baptized already. When I tell you I gotta do a spiritual cleanse, I have to do a real literally spiritual cleanse. Meaning I have to cleanse myself of all the negativity I've ever done. And for those of y'all who have never done a spiritual bath, it's no different than doing a baptism. Only difference is you're gonna dip your head in there, but you just ain't gonna drown. But you cannot do both. You cannot do a negative thing and then turn around and say, "Oh, my bad." So at the end of the day, I'm good. So like I said, it don't make no sense. So I'm gonna go to bed on that note. I'm gonna do a part 2 to this episode, but it's gonna be on a different channel. I am gonna add this one to another channel as well. So that's why I have it recorded on my StreamYard. But right now my feet are so swollen. I mean, they're numb. My toes are numb and everything is numb. So I rebuke this and send it back from which it came. So Lord, please heal my feet and this numbness in my body so I can be able to just be. So again, that's how I know demonic forces. Sometimes demonic forces can mess with your health and wellness. It's not always that demonic forces are going to hit you as far as just mentally and psychologically causing depression and anxiety. It can also hit you health-wise. Because you can be somebody that's never drank or smoke, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you get into a car accident out of nowhere and get into within 20, not even 24 hours, like I did. So you never know how things are going to hit you either way. All I know is God says sit back and sit patiently. Even though right now I don't have a husband, I sit back and I wait. And I wish I would have done that a long time ago. I do. That is the one thing that I regret, that when God said to sit still and be patient, I'm gonna bring you everything that you need. I should have been patient. But no, I was not patient. So all I'm saying to y'all is it don't. So I just wish y'all would just let this go and move forward. But like I said, it's just like the YSL trial, and I'm gonna use that, but then I'm going to bed. The YSL trial, same thing. Young Thug is probably right now in the back of his mind saying, "When I get out of this situation, I promise you, I ain't going back." I really believe Young Thug is gonna change his life. I believe, and plus he's with what's her name? Maria the scientist. I think that's her name. But she seemed like a really good girl, so I think he gonna go a different route, and I don't blame him if he does. So I would think the same thing. So like I said, you don't never know how things gonna turn. Back to that topic. I just forgot that quickly. Tired. I'm tired from working out and my throat hurts. But no, I'm tired from working out. I worked out and I'm tired. And that's why I'm hurting, because everything, like I said, I'm trying to think what my example was. I just forgot it just that quickly. I have to use another one then because I can't think of which one it was. I'm so tired I can't even think straight right now. But yeah, let's use okay. Okay, I got it now. I got it. Let's say you have two kids, right? And one kid is very popular. The other one's not. You focused on the one that is popular and you just gave your child to another child for them to do whatever it is they want to do. Versus you saying, nope, you're not having no kids right now. You ain't ready for. And like, why? Because, sweetheart, you're a chosen child. The child that's not trying to make friends is the one that's going to always end up being the good one. Why? Because that child is going to be the one that's not going to be feeding into all these negative things that everybody else does. But back to Donald Trump, that's what it was, Donald Trump. Now, we still don't know who the third Antichrist is. We still don't know. We don't have a clue. So, like I said, with Donald Trump, you don't know what you're going to get, honestly. So, I don't know. So, all I will say is life is too short to be messing around with people that ain't worth you. It just ain't worth it at all. So at the end of the day, like I said, you're gonna have people that's gonna like you, you're gonna have people that's not. But when you are a godly person, yes, your life is boring. Your life is a straight and narrow. That's why it's boring. So you're not having sex till marriage. You're not trying to do any of that. You just be. So that's how I look at that. So when it comes to certain things, like I said, and what I've learned is this here. This whole society is no different than the story of Moses. It's no different than the story of Lot. Eventually, God is going to get sick and tired and be like, you know what? For those of y'all that are godly people, I'm going to need you to get on the plane. I'm going to need you to leave. And because I'm about to get rid of some things. Because it's already happening already. All the recalls, all this other stuff, it is happening. So, like I said, life is lifing. And I'm tired. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to finish this a little bit later. I am gonna do part two to this episode. But like I said, being a godly person is boring. Now I ain't gonna say that you don't get excitement, but a godly person don't got time for negativity. They don't. And they don't have time for games, nonsense, and BS. So So, like I said, I just want people to understand that either you're going to do the right thing or you're going to do the wrong thing. Okay? Now, my throat is hurting. I already know why. Because God is speaking through me to speak this to y'all. And the devil don't want this to be out there. And sometimes that can happen where you're saying something and you're a person of God and you're saying something and all of a sudden your throat start hurting, stuff start happening, and that's because it don't want it to be said. Because like I said, I'm not somebody stupid. I know the reason they want us to work. I know the reason they want us to have families, and it's not because of anything that they telling you. It's because they need workers. Just like, man, y'all need to go watch the movie Ants. If I do the Discord, we're gonna watch the movie Ants, and you gonna understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. When I saw that movie Ants, it changed my whole, when I tell you, whole perspective on everything when it comes to government. It changed everything for me. I came to realize who actually is running things. I started paying attention to certain things. When I would see certain people talking about the Illuminati and stuff like that, I would pay attention. And then I saw this video that came on, and this is the reason why I can never pronounce her name. But she used to be on what was she on? She used to be on the entertainment channel. Okay, they showed a documentary about a secret society. Now I ain't gonna get too much into this, but the secret society is the one that determines who gonna be president. Now I ain't gonna say the name of the organization because I don't think they ever said the name. But anyway, this documentary was good. But the problem is somebody lost their job because of it. It was never supposed to come on. It was never supposed to be documented, but it was. And I saw it. And when I tell you, I was like, my whole entire philosophy when it comes to life has changed. I came to the realization that the whole reason they want marriage is children. They need children to be workers. Because what they're getting ready to do is they're getting ready to make it so the lower class can't work office jobs. They're going to take away the office jobs. They're going to take away the higher jobs and give them to them rich kids. You're going to be working light industrial. You might be doing nursing, all of that. Because the other day when they talked about debt, I said, why is it that they can't, you know? He was like, I was trying to tell you. So all I'm saying is, when I started paying attention to things, and I seen the fact they don't want to fix nothing. So I'll give you a good example. They made billions of dollars off you being sick. They're not trying to get no cures. There are so many cures out there outside the United States, but they don't want to use none of it. If you look at the medications and even the supplements, it's got extra stuff in it that ain't supposed to be there. Now you got salmonella, you got all this other stuff going on. No other country is going through this nonsense except ours. And that right there tell you something. Because all this stuff is in Revelations, every single last bit of it. So what they want is, since the older people can't retire, because they already said they about to change the retirement to 80. So you ain't never going to be able to retire. So that means that person's going to be in that management position for a very long time, which means you're not going to be able to move up. Like I said, every time, we got a cost of living raise, something else will go up. Y'all ain't learned by now. You ain't learned all of this by now. But this is what happens when you become a godly person, because you start to see things for what they are. And then when you start going against society standards and you're going into God's standards, you going into a peace. The only thing you gonna be mad about is the fact that you wasted time. It ain't even about it is not even about what they did. It's the fact that you wasted time on people that were not worth you. When you become a godly person, instead of you being Captain Save a Hoe, Build a Bear, Build a Dolls, you're doing exactly what I'm doing right now, becoming a life coach. You're doing something to help the community because now you about to build your tribe. You about to build your tribe. Not based upon everybody else, but you. So at the end of the day, like I said, you can have anybody tell you, oh, I healed somebody. No, you didn't. So, no. So, what I will say is this here. I'm not feeding into society standards. I refuse to. I never wanted to be a part of the American culture. Never going to. Why? Because it's a lie. It's demonic. All this makeup, no wrong. I like my fake nails. I like my nails. But all of this getting plastic surgery, all of this women gotta stink. Man, y'all need to go ahead on somewhere. Because that is not what God said. God said that you're supposed to be evenly yoked, aka 50-50. Y'all are on this childhood, mommy, daddy, child dynamic. When y'all gonna grow up? The recovery is you got to accept things for what they are. And I mean exactly for what they are. You can't change something that already is. But what you can change is something that will be. So you can't change what's going on right now. But you can work on yourself. So what I will do is leave well enough alone. Because that's exactly what I intend to do. So again, I'm not feeding the society standards. I don't want to be chosen. I don't want to be looked at based upon attraction because it's demonic. Because in the Bible, beauty is internal when it comes to God. But when it comes to the devil, it is external. So all of y'all talking about it's about looks. Yeah, you feeding right into demonic nonsense and hurting a bunch of people in your wake. Y'all don't care about who you hurt. You don't care about who you destroyed. As long as you get what it is that you want. And guess what? It may not even be what you need. So again, I'm not understanding this at all. None of it. So I'm going to chill and I'm going to relax the rest of the day. I'm going to leave it here. There's a whole lot of this I can talk about, but I'm going to go step by step. Again, when you get away from society standards and you get into God standards, that's why y'all see me the way you see me. I am no longer living society standards. I mean that sincerely. That's why when God said, come as you are, that means the real version of you. Because the way you gonna know if somebody really likes you is to show what you really look like. And that means the truth about you. Because if you put it out there from the beginning, nobody can't say nothing. Because even if you go back in my life 20 years and try to figure it out, I'm still going to be like, so? If all of y'all going to walk out because of something that people who don't know me personally, can put stuff out about me that's a bold-faced lie, and you believe it, please get away from me then. Get away from me then. Because I have proven time and time again, I can bring people together. I prove time and time again that even though I may not have 120 million followers, I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. Because as long as the people that I'm meant to serve, based upon God telling me to use me as a vessel, I meant to say, then I'm going to continue to be the vessel that God wants me to be. Because God has saved my life multiple times. And when I was a kid, no, I did not believe in God. But guess what? I realized that was a lie. And I had to repent, and I had to basically make amends. And I did. A lot of y'all don't want to repent. You don't want to make amends. You don't want to fix what you broke. All of y'all that owe a whole bunch of people money that you don't want to pay them back their money. All of y'all that have sat up here and sexually assaulted and done all these things, and not once have you repented. Y'all be quick to say, I'm sorry. Sorry does not mean nothing, because half of y'all don't even mean it. Because you'll turn right back around and do the same behavior. So how are you sorry when you did what you did? The only reason you're saying you're sorry is because you got caught. You're saying you're sorry just to appease the person. But you wasn't sorry when you unalived that person. You wasn't sorry when you cheated on your wife or cheated on your husband. You wasn't sorry when you molested that child. You weren't sorry. Because if you were sorry, you would have never done it. You would have never done it. Because them coulda, shoulda, woulda would have been the first thing that came to your mind. The first thing that would have came to your mind before you do anything negative is the consequences and repercussions and karma to your actions. And that is non-negotiable. Everything in that Bible is non-negotiable. It is what it is. And as a matter of fact, the Bible was supposed to be continuously being written, showing how man has evolved. But no, y'all stop believing in it. But there's not majority of people that y'all are following that on them pulpits ain't chosen. They're not chosen. Because the chosen ones are certainly not doing that. Because even though my Cash App is sitting right here at the bottom, not once have I mentioned it. I don't feel I should have to mention it. As a person of God, if somebody is meant to give me anything, it will be given to me. And I'm not worried about it. So with that being said, Jezebel, when you get away from society standards and you go in isolation and you ask God to show you the truth, because I certainly did it. God showed me a lot of truths, and the things I've seen, I don't ever want to be a part of society standards. I just don't. The lies, the manipulation, the nonsense, I don't want nothing to do with it. That's why I'm building that's why I said knowledge, books. That's why I said I'm writing books, because I was like, I want to leave my child a legacy, something that he doesn't have to do too much to, and it will sell itself. So if you don't know where recovery has to come from, it starts spiritually. So I need people to understand this here. Again, either you're going to be society standards or you're going to be God standards, but you can't be both. I don't care what none of y'all talking about. You can't be both. You cannot be a godly person and do negative things. There come a time y'all got to grow. Do you know what growing up is? Being an adult means you are choosing to grow and evolve and elevate and mature. If somebody is telling you that you can't, leave them where they at. It is one thing when you were younger and under the age of 18. I understand it. Even in college, I understand it. But by the time you turn 30, you should know this by now. After having that first one and what you went through, you shouldn't want to have another one. You can't keep making these mistakes and keep saying, oh, I did it just because, I met this dude and he was different. No, he was the same type of demonic people that God did not send you. God didn't send you none of them people. The devil did. You're not supposed to be a part of society. You are supposed to be by yourself, figuring out and letting God bring whatever it is that's meant for you to you. When God says, sit still, sit your behind still and be by yourself and stop worrying about the fact that you alone. Stop worrying about the fact that you got to raise this kid by yourself. God is not going to let you fall. Man will let you fall before God will let you fall. So I need y'all to understand that something very important. Because you can't see God does not mean there's not a spirit that's not there. It doesn't mean that at all. So what I'm saying to y'all is stop worrying about everybody else. They will be just fine. It is not your job to raise grown people. It is not your job to be Captain Sabo, Build-A-Bears, and Build-A-Dolls. And like I said, if love is meant for you, you don't have to go look for it. You ain't got to go put on some sexy outfit to get attention. If you're a godly person, regardless of what you look like, if you're a godly person and you just have to be successful, that's cool too. So I ain't got time for this. No. I don't. I'm too grown for this nonsense. And that's why I said I'm very grown. Because every day I'm elevating. I'm evolving. Why? Because I am by myself. No man, no friends, just me and God. And a lot of y'all want to jump from situation to situation to situation to situation instead of sitting your butt by yourself and learn from the last situation. Because if you stay the same, you're going to deal with the same type of people. You got to grow in order to get away from the same type of people. And even if you grow, it still don't mean you won't end up with the same type of people. Because the one thing about negative people, they don't like certain reactions. And when you don't pay attention to negative people and give them what they want, that's when they're going to attack you. And I know that personally. So at the end of the day, no. Sit your behind still until God tell you to move. And then when God tell you to move, then you move. So I'm just saying. Just consider that. So there you go. My throat hurts, so sometimes I gotta go silent for a couple of seconds. My throat has been really bothering me. So all I'm saying to y'all is, yeah, God's standards are boring. Godly people are boring, and yeah, it is what it is. But you know what? I would rather be a boring person doing everything I'm supposed to do that's the right thing than risk it all, including my sanity and including my peace, my quiet, and tranquility, to deal with excitement and deal with people trying to destroy my life who claim they love me and they don't. I'm sorry. I just can't. See, as somebody that right now is going through the last stage of recovery, that's actually going through it, anybody can get up here and tell you, oh, the way you're going to recover is just put a band-aid on it and act like it didn't happen. What? How am I supposed to act like I wasn't just sexually assaulted? How am I supposed to act like all of these things didn't just happen? Why? Because people want you to keep on moving. Because it benefits them when you keep on moving. Because if somebody says, this like this one girl told her boss, look, I need 6 weeks off. I'm going through a mental health crisis. Did they care? No. But let Elon Musk and them just say, you know what, I'm just gonna walk out. I'm just gonna leave. Then what? Stay here. I ain't got time for none of this nonsense. So like I said, life is living. But yeah, I'm in this society. I gotta walk out the door. I gotta get in the car, no differently than y'all. But am I lonely? No. No. Even though sometimes I'll be like, you know what? I'm stuck in this house. Can't go nowhere. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit still because God told me to. I could get in the car and try to drive, knowing I have anxiety when I drive. And I know eventually I'm going to have to get in that car and I'm going to have to drive. And every day I pray every day. But God is like, no, because your health and wellness is important. You know, God is the one that said, you know what? Get up and go. Now I want you to get up. I don't want you just sitting here. I want you to get up every day and work out. Every single day. I want you to work out. Just for 30 minutes. Today I had to stop one time because I was in pain. But guess what? After a couple seconds, I got back up and finished it. So 3 days, I did 2 30-minute videos and one regular one. So I was proud of myself because, like I said, I've been doing 15-minute and then 2 30-minutes. I'm proud of myself because I started off slow and I worked my way up. So when God tell you to move, God says move. You just got to learn how, when he moves, to move. So that's how I look at all of that. I could go into more, but you can't keep making the same mistakes. You can't continue to allow people to lower your self-esteem, self-worth, self-values, that just because they're attractive, that you think they're better than you, because of the fact they have more money than you think they're better than you when they're not. These people are not better than you. They're not godly people. So yeah, you may not be as pretty as them. You may not get the dude, and that's okay, because none of those men are worth you. That's why you ain't getting attention. Because if God really wanted you to be that way, you would have came out that way. You would have came out that way. Now, don't get me wrong, there are people out here that got disabilities. That's completely different. But for those of y'all that came out normal and you wonder why you are reacting the way you react, because it's the truth. It's the truth. Y'all so busy allowing people to lower you because everybody's telling you, oh, you got to have friends, and when you're in a relationship, you got to basically take care of them and you got to do for them. But when are they going to do for me? When are they going to help me pay my bills? When are they going to pay me back all the money they gave me? I can't get back time. I can get back every single possession I got. I can get another job, but I can't get another mom. I can't get another dad, and I certainly cannot get another child. Well, I take that back. Yes, you can. But I can't get another aunt. So that's my point. So even though I can basically get whatever I want, the problem is I don't want to. I don't want to. So when I started to realize about unattractiveness, I now understand what it means. That being unattractive is sometimes can be a phenomenal thing. Why? Because I can move in silence and not be bothered. So when these people from the sex cult who thought they were exposing me, no, you let go of all of the things that were holding me back is what you did. What you did was gave me the courage to come as I am. So now I don't have to hide anything anymore. Now I can come on here as I am and be just fine. I just don't want to. And I'm okay. And I'm good with that. So all I'm saying to y'all, y'all better wake up. Because if you don't think right now we in Revelations, honey, I saw water go into the desert. I seen red water and I forgot where it was. No, I'm good, thank you. Y'all better go watch the movie The Seventh Sign. That's the two movies I want to watch. Matter of fact, there's a few movies I want to watch. But that's definitely one of them. I'm telling you, it will change your life. It will purely completely change your life. It's just like that movie that Chloe's going to be in called Purge. I don't know if it's going to be a series or whether it's going to be a movie. But anybody that feels the purge is the best thing to do, y'all have financial aid issues or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, like I said, everything that society, especially in the United States, has told you has been a lie. Why? Because I learned this in 2018 before I got into the sex cult. This is when I started getting worse. And I just had hernia surgery and gallbladder surgery. And in 2017, I lost my job. And so in 2016, I decided to go to school. 2017, I lost my job. Okay. So when I graduated in 2018 and everything, because I had to take a break. So 2018, I graduated. I was the top of my class, and I probably would have been valedictorian if I could have got down to Florida to actually come down here to actually walk across stage, but I wasn't able to do so at the time. But anyway, so I was the last one to get a job, and I didn't even get a job in what I went to school for. And if I didn't get a job in what I went to school for, then I shouldn't be charged for it anyway. So anyway, long story short, no. I saw some money. All I can say is no. Because I already knew what it was. So now when you're older, and now it's easier for you to spot demonic people, because now it's not about what they look like. It's about who they are as a person. So now when you sit down and you go on these dates and you ask questions like, if we were married and you went to a party or whatever the case may be, and some girl comes up to you, drops down her clothes, would you have sex with her? People like, why would you ask him that? Because that's a question that I would like to know the answer to. Would he commit infidelity, or what exactly is that he would do? Let me tell you the answer I'm looking for. If that man sees her naked and he says to her, why are you naked? because I'm feeling you and I like you, sweetheart, you being naked is not gonna make me date you. Number one. Number two, I'm married. And I'm not risking my marriage because of lust and the 7 deadly sins. I'm sorry. I'm not. Me and my wife have worked hard to build what we built, and I'm not going to destroy it because of the fact that you're naked. And don't get me wrong, you're very beautiful and very gorgeous. But the answer is still no. I know. I'm sorry. Couldn't do it. So that's what I mean. Everything gets easier because you done weather the storm. So it's going to be a whole lot easier for you to deal with. It's going to be a whole lot easier for you to move because why the left hand doesn't know the right hand does. Now it's going to be easier for you to walk away from somebody because as soon as they say the word no, okay, it was nice meeting you. Just that simple. You ain't going to be mad about it. You ain't going to be upset about it. And you may end up losing your job. I don't care. Why? Because God got me. My faith in God does not waver. Especially if I ain't do nothing wrong. I know God got me, so I ain't worried about it. So at the end of you're worried about the wrong thing that don't matter. So I get it. I absolutely get it. So like I said, you gotta decide how you want to live your life. But at the end of the day, you still gotta make a choice. And when you do make that choice, take everything that come with it. As a godly person, you're going to constantly be attacked. You're going to constantly have haters. You're going to constantly have people trying to destroy your life. You constantly going to have people trying to come into your world. But see, that's why being alone is so important because you move in silence. Nobody knows what it is you're going to be doing because ugliness is not what you look like. Ugliness is behavior. Ugliness is actions. Ugliness, what makes somebody ugly to me is their character. That's what makes them ugly. I don't think a lot of people are ugly, especially even people that have disabilities. I don't. It's fine. So all I'm saying to y'all, you got a choice to make. Whatever that choice is, it's up to you. But if y'all want to continue to let people continuously bring you down and lower your self-esteem, carry on, Kimosabis. Keep living society standards. Keep destroying each other. Keep on trying to build a nation within a nation. Keep leaving women as single mothers. Because if you really think that what society standards is what God's standards is, what is wrong with you? Because that is not true at all. So what I say to the younger generation of young girls, please close your legs. Close your legs. Because you're not getting sex properly. You're letting men ruin your lives because instead of you being focused on yourself, you're focused on some boy. Please, love of God, put yourself first. I'm sorry. I would rather be evenly yoked than not be yoked at all. I am 50-50 because I'm an adult. I don't need to be under my husband. But do I respect my husband if he earns that privilege? Y'all giving people privileges that don't even deserve it. Y'all putting people in leadership that can't lead to save their life. You putting people in leadership that's gonna have you in jail somewhere. Or even unalive, I hate to say. So no, I don't got time for none of this home good. So that's how I feel about all that. So yeah, I choose God's standards because I like my peace, my quiet, and my tranquility. I'll wait for God to bring me the people that's meant to be in my life. I will sit here and I will wait and I will go without sex. I will stay celibate. I don't want demonic energy. I don't want soul ties. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want my self esteem, self worth, and self values to be destroyed because of what you think about me, because of what God created me to be. God did not create me perfect. I'm okay with that. And if you got a problem with that, that's your problem. But I forgive you just the same. And I'm going to continue my life despite the fact you don't like me. Because just because you don't like me does not mean I dislike you. Just because you got an issue with me is not my problem. Like the song says, not my problem. That's just not my problem. It's not my problem. Whatever your issue with me ain't got nothing to do with you. Cause if I ain't never dated you and I'm not friends with you, you shouldn't even have a problem with me at all. Cause whatever I'm doing ain't got nothing to do with you. Because at the end of the day, nobody is going to mess up the peace that God gave me. So you want to know why I want a boring life? Because I like my peace and quiet. As you can hear, my house is quiet. As you can hear, my phone doesn't ring. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I really am. I am so okay with my phone not ringing. Y'all just don't understand. I don't care. My mommy calls, she checks on me. I'm cool with that. Long as she calls and my baby calls, that's all I care about. I care about nothing else. So at the end of the day, like I said, I'm good regardless. So, no. So, like I said, there you go. Gotta make a choice. If you really want your peace and quiet that bad, then honey, y'all better stop being these Captain Save a Holes, Build a Bears, and Build a Dolls. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna teach you the correct way to help people, and you ain't gotta give up nothing. All you gotta do is give up your time. Just the fact of y'all that basically are doing a service, you're helping people. Those of y'all life coaching, counselors, psychologists, you're still doing something to help people. So, like I said, I get it. I really do. So, I just want people to understand that life is what you make it and with whom you make it with. It's just like today, somebody called me about a job for $25 an hour. But so like I said, it's up to y'all. I'm just a vessel. I can sit here all day long and go through all of this. And I plan to. Because for those who are serious about leaving society standards, for those of y'all that are tired of trying to be a part of it, going to get plastic surgery, do you not understand they make money off of your misery? They make money off your loneliness. They make money off you being sick. Do you not understand that? What society makes money off your misery? Why you think they don't want to fix nothing? Why you think they don't want to give you permanent cures for things? Why is it that you get rid of cancer and it comes back? Again, start paying attention. Researching is very important. Looking at things for what they are, not what you want them to be, is pretty much going to help you. But at the end of the day, I can't make nobody do anything. So I just want to say thank you. I appreciate the people who support me. I do. Without y'all, there is no me. I'd be nothing without y'all. But I ain't mean to make this long, but I had the spirit in me, so I figured today I would come on and just say all of this. I choose God. I choose God every time. I don't want the excitement. I don't want to be Captain Save Her. I especially don't want to be Build-A-Bears or Build-A-Dolls or seat fillers or people pleasers. I don't need love that bad where I end up in a situation with multiple people. No, I'm good. Thank you. So, with that being said, I'm off to bed on the note. So this podcast will continue down this road. So we're gonna go through a bunch of situations and figure out what would you do. Because like I said, it's all about figuring out the person you were then, breaking down what happened in the past and what you learned from it, if you learned anything at all, and then we can go from there. So off to bed I go. So I thank y'all for joining me for this episode. I greatly appreciate y'all because y'all didn't have to rock with me through this situation. But again, we all have to make choices here. And I don't care what you do negative, there are consequences. You cannot run from it, you cannot hide from it. Doing negativity, yeah, it seems fun and is exciting. And yes, it is until you get caught. Until the chickens come home to roost and that one person gets in front of a judge and tells on everybody, then what are you going to do? So between this discrimination, I just came to this point. And that's what I'm saying. Y'all talking about I want to make a village in the United States. That's y'all problem now. When are y'all gonna be like the Israelites and just say, you know what, I just had enough and I'm just ready to go? Read the story of Moses, black people. Your answer's right there. And until black people understand that y'all need to stop doing what you're doing, we gonna continue to suffer worse. Cause it don't make no sense what we as black people got to endure. And you don't even understand why you're enduring it. Well, I'm gonna tell you. Because you are the Israelites. All you waiting on is the Moses to say, let my people go and come get me, and it's time to go. But y'all ain't gonna do that. So with that being said, I think that's it for me. But I thank y'all for joining me for this episode. I appreciate y'all. Hope you learn something, grow something, evolve, and elevate. I really do. Don't let nobody stop you from whatever it is that God puts you on this path and purpose and journey on. Don't let nobody lower your light, your shine because you're overweight, because you have flaws and imperfections and a disability or you make mistakes in your past. Don't you let nobody make you feel less than what you are. Stand proud on your past. Because if you stand proud on it, you'll be amazed how many other people will. So again, you gonna deal with negativity one way or another. There's no way around it. But again, it's not how you fall, it's how you rise. But how in the world can you rise when you got so many people trying to bring you down? So many people keeping you from your greatness. So many people that got you with multiple baby daddies. That got you raising kids versus living your dreams. Friendship can wait. All those things can wait. Get yourself where you need to be on your own. See what you can do on your own, and then you figure out where the additions, operative word, additions to you gonna end up at. Stop looking for somebody to be there permanent. Look for someone until God says this ain't the person, you need to leave them where they at. Let God bring whatever it is that's meant to you, and let it be that. So I ain't got time for that. I don't. So we'll see how it all turns out. Won't we? But again, these are your choices. I just choose to be more. I just choose to be boring. I'm okay with that. I'm not boring at all. But I don't do society standards at this point. So there's no more, you know, doing certain things unless I choose to do so. So what I'm doing is doing a slow transformation. So I started out with my nails because I'm going through a hair journey and I'm also going through other health issue journeys. So right now I'm starting with my nails because I wanted something pretty. Because the transformation that I'm getting ready to do, I'm going to do before your eyes. So the reason you haven't seen me is because I choose not to be looked at. So, with that being said, thank y'all for joining me for this episode. Appreciate y'all. Going to bed. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, notification button to receive notifications from my videos. If any of y'all want to contribute to my channel, the information's at the bottom. Whether I'm on here or not, if y'all choose to contribute, I appreciate it. If not, I'm okay with you too. Because again, come as you are. It's not about money for me. It's about seeing y'all thrive. As long as I can see somebody that I help, whether it's one-on-one coaching, group coaching, if I can help somebody to be the best version of themselves that grows and evolves with me, then I've done my job. So with that being said, I think that's it for me. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have been holding me down on this podcast, and I appreciate y'all. And I hope this new podcast is going to help y'all in recovery in a way and healing in a way that's very different. Because acting like something doesn't exist does not solve anything. You got to face your past in order to have a better present and future. Because you need to put it to bed. You need to stop it. And that's why a lot of people don't understand. Let go of what was. So, I'm just I'm trying to talk. So, again, I choose God every time. And God is my husband. God is my best friend. God is my father. God is everything. And I praise God every day. In every prayer that I do, I praise God. And I thank God for everything that I have. So I'm off to bed. So y'all have a very big, beautiful night. I'm getting some rest because I'm tired. I worked out. I'm tired. I might have to find something to snack on because I swear I'm tired. Because I feel kind of lightheaded. Some found me something sweet to eat. I should have bought me some cookies, but I didn't. So I'm going to go lay down and get some rest. I'm kind of scared to buy stuff because I don't know. I got some yogurt in there. I might eat some yogurt with some granolas. So that being said, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I do. Y'all have been my rock, and I am so grateful unto all of you. So with that being said, y'all have a very beautiful night. My throat is killing me right now. I have to always rest a couple seconds for my throat to come back. So I will see y'all next week for this episode of next week. And we'll go into part 2 of this episode when it comes to the 7 deadly sins. And why the 7 deadly sins, for some reason, man can't seem to let go of it. For some reason. So that being said,
this is the first part of recovery because it starts spiritually. And once you know what you're dealing with spiritually, it's going to be easier for you to be able to not go through it. So I have a different way of doing recovery than most people. So, and I myself am currently going through it. So, so with that being said, y'all have a very beautiful night. I'm sorry, y'all. My throat is hurting. Ugh, it hurts. So I'm gonna end it here, and I will see y'all next week at the time it's supposed to be, unless something changes. So until then, we'll talk later. Bye.